Hello. In this report, I am going to be talking about the accessibility of Centennial Library. Centennial Library is a science and engineering library. There are classes held in this building. Multiple students come to study in this building daily. There's a huge computer lab with over 50 computers, a snack stand, and a huge library in the back. Centennial Library isn't one of the most accessible libraries on campus, so in this report, my research question was, how can Centennial Library become more accessible to the widest range of students? Universal design is a way to make accommodations for everyone so the greatest amount of people can access it. Universal design, as described by the Disability Employment Policy, describes universal design as a strategy for making products, environments, operational systems, and services welcoming and usable to the most diverse range of people possible. Its key principles are simplicity, flexibility, and efficiency. So, in a little bit, I'm going to be talking kind of about how Centennial Library can universally design the entrance into their building to accommodate the most amount of people. Some points on why the library isn't that easy to navigate through is, first of all, it's an architectural marvel because the entire thing is located underground, but for students with disabilities that need to get around the building a little bit slower, it's a little bit more tricky for them. For example, the elevator is hidden behind a wall that if you didn't know that it existed, you probably couldn't even find it. The stairs are tiny, so if people are in a hurry trying to get around, they have to be really careful walking up and down those steps. There's no real signs to direct the students where to go, and even the sign on the outside of the building telling the students that it is in fact a library can't be seen from every direction, so students could easily mistake this for being a building that when you walk in, you just see a bunch of brochures telling you about the surrounding area. They wouldn't really know that it was a library. And so the people that are disabled and even other students have a hard time getting around this building. Here's some pictures of the inside of the library. As you can see in the top right picture, the elevator is hidden kind of around that wall, so upon walking in, you kind of can't even see the elevator there. You just stare at this big staircase and think that if you were maybe in a wheelchair that you couldn't even get to this library, and you would get frustrated and just have to walk out. Some ways that I think could help improve this library are to add some more signs to help students realize that, hey, there is an elevator, you just have to walk a little bit further. Maybe add some lines on the floor to help direct the visually impaired around, so that way they could kind of follow the tracks. They could even redo the stairs to make them bigger and easier to use. And what I think needs to happen first, though, is to add a bigger sign on the outside of the building telling people that it is in fact a library and they are in the right place. But my recommended suggestion would be to add an addition onto the outside entrance of the building to allow students multiple options that they may not have had before. With the addition of new space, it can allow them to walk in and have another place to study without having to go downstairs or just in between waiting for classes. It would give the disabled some more room so they don't feel so claustrophobic and an easy way to get around without being stressed. Also, it would give the students another reason to enter this library because it would be the newest place on campus. As you can see in this chart that I have put together here, there are multiple little things that can add up to a big price, but I've done a lot of research for this, and the cost of renovating an existing new construction building on school property would be only upwards of $20,000. So all these little prices may add up, you may think are a lot, but in the end they don't add up to such a big price. So in the end, the solution to this will give the confidence to the students that they need to go into the library and study, whereas before they may have been embarrassed to go in or just were confused and didn't know even what this building was. And even it'll give UNM the recognition of providing a better place for students to study. Not only will the news reporters around be filming this, but even by incoming new students who feel they will be safe at UNM because UNM actually cares about their students enough to give them the universal design that they needed.